really not very much blue. So he's definitely on a humans package. He has Precinct Captain, War Falcon, that's a new one, Champion of the Parish, Knight of Glory, Elite Inquisitor, Silverblade Paladin, Riders of Gavoni, Sublime Archangel, Geist of St. Traft. Only real blue cards he has are the Geist, Spectral Flight, and the flashback on Feeling of Dread. He's very aggressive.
Yeah, wow, he's really going balls to the walls. Aggro here. He's playing against Jansen Eaton. Sorry, Jansen, not sure the pronunciation there, but he's playing black, white, red tokens. And now this is a really interesting deck. This is a departure from any kind of deck I've seen. Hellrider, Thundermaw, Hellkite, Doom Traveler, Blood Artist, and there is that Doom Traveler. Dreadbore, Bonfire, Pillar, and then your usual token makers like Gather, Lingering Souls, Midnight Haunting, and Tangible Virtue.
Right, and I think that's the core of the deck. It's like, It's really, there were a lot of block decks before the banning of Lingering Souls, which looked a lot like Jansen Eaton's. Let's go to the game. Jansen started off on a turn 1 Doomed Traveler off Plains. Shrout responds with a turn 1 War Falcon. Jansen hits for 1 and plays a Dragon Skull Summit with no turn 2 play, but his hand is pretty stocked. It has a Dreadbore, it has Blood Artist, and yeah, set to put more pressure on. So Knight of Glory will come down for Andrew Shrout, and War Falcon will swing for 3. Shrout with a more straightforward game plan. Jansen has more synergy here.
Right, and that Blood Artist in his hand is really going to do a lot of work. I mean, I know I was just sort of bashing the card, but in this matchup, it's going to be huge.
All right, Vault of the Archangel comes down for Jansen. Yeah, this is very similar to the kind of decks that were dominating the block constructed format pre-bannings.
Right. Now, if I'm Jansen, I think I just get down that Blood Artist, but it looks like he's going to swing in and hold Midnight Haunting up, probably intending on trading with that War Falcon.
The reason you'd hold back here is because it allows him, with the draw of a land, to next turn play Blood Artist, Gather the Townsfolk.
Right. That's definitely a better line with what he has in hand.
Now, he has to watch out. Shroud's hand has Spectral Flight and Feeling of Dread in it. So, yeah, Spectral Flight is going to come down on Knight of Glory. Knight of Glory now a 4/3 attacks from both of them by Andrew Shrout. Midnight Haunting is going to come down. Trade with War Falcon, leave a Spirit probably back.
Yeah, and that play is going to end up a lot better for him than the play I would have done. So, one will trade.
If Jansen can draw another land here, I do like his board.
For sure, especially with that Vault of the Archangel.
Right, Vault is... Jansen's definitely, I think, the control deck here. He's got the better late game, it really looks like. Andrew Shrout will replace his War Falcon with another War Falcon. And a Miracle Bonfire from Jansen.
Wow.
It's not enough to kill Knight of Glory.
No, it's... Okay.
Do it anyway.
He's going to cast it. Wants to kill that War Falcon.
And burn him for 2.
Burn him for 2, yeah.
So Shrout will go down to 16, lose the War Falcon, and presumably drop to 14 off the attack.
I would definitely...
Jansen's it looks like he's gonna run a chump block here.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like that, because the value of the chump block goes way up later when you have either Blood Artist or Vault of the Archangel active.
Right. I think I agree there. I'd want to continue racing at least at this point.
Right.
Now, Elite Inquisitor and a Johnny from Andrew Shrout.
So, Andrew Shrout, really good hand. He's going to really be able to put the pressure on here.
Now, swinging for 5 in the air. And, well, I think Jansen's already committed to this play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. You can not make the block, and he's not going to make the block. You maybe want to play a little bit slower so you don't lose damage to indecision, which is what's happened here.
Yeah, I mean, it is good that he did realize the right play.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, he's making the jump.
He's going to block.
And Elite Inquisitor. Jansen's pretty far behind right now. He did hit his land, so now he's got Gather Blood Artist. He's going to... Now remember, Elite Inquisitor has first strike, so... between the Elite Inquisitor and the Feeling of Dread, it's in Shrout's hand, he may be able to stop the Vault of Archangel life gain.
Yeah. So, Blood Artist Gather comes down indeed. Makes an army that's going to be going to cause Andrew Shrout some problems on the ground.
Yeah. Now remember, Jansen Eaton cannot Dreadbore the Knight of Glory. This is far too glorious. It has pro black.
He can, though, play a Johnny and give it double strike, which means that he's pretty much one swing away from dead. Jansen Eaton can't really realize that. He thinks that he's 3 attacks away, but he's really 2 attacks away from death.
There aren't too many plays that he has, even if he does think that.
Right.
I'm gonna go, yep, here comes a Johnny. Putting a counter on Knight of Glory. Knight of Glory is gonna swing for 6.
Johnny up to 5. In the air, coming in, drops Jansen to 7. The Doom Traveler and Human Tokens can only look on as it comes in. Yeah, Jansen Eaton pretty cold to that pro black guy. He can't do much about it.
Right. No, in his deck list. Yeah, he doesn't appear to have very many outs here. Johnny's gonna he's gonna have to dreadboard the Johnny probably. That only buys him a turn.
Creature or planeswalker. Yep.
Well, it does do that.
I know Jansen can't even really put on any pressure.
Right. Well, actually, there's another Spectral Flight. Is there no Spectral
now
Flight in
he's
Jansen's?
dead.
Yep, because both halves of the Feeling of Dread should get him.
Wrong one. Feeling of Dread. Feeling of Dread.
Tap everything and swing.
Coming for 7. You're dead. Next game. Let's go.
All right. Very aggressive here.
Yeah, and you know, Andrew Shrout, you were kind of laughing at the War Falcons earlier, but Andrew Shrout 3-0 here.
Don't think it was the War Falcons that did it, though. As much as I want to be that, as much as I want to like War Falcons.
All right, you're probably right about that. War Falcons were not that impressive that game. Right. Not the matchup that they really shine in. I'm sure they'll be sided out.
Yeah. So then, the question: what do we have sided in? He has Rootborn Defenses, which is actually possible.
Ooh, wow, that's actually
a good trick.
Pretty good in this matchup.
Riders of Gavoni, Nearheath Pilgrim. I'm not sure if anything else. Rootborn seems fair to me, actually.
Yeah, he could side in the Syncopate, but I think I really only like it on the play to deal with Lingering Souls.
Right.
Because it does exile it, which is nice. Other than that, though, yeah, not really a heck of a lot. Bonds of Faith, pretty poor against the token deck.
Right.
In terms of Jansen Eaton, he has Ash Zealots, Sundering Growth, Slaughter Games. He has Rootborn Defenses, also 2x. And then a bunch of one-ofs. Sorin, Lord of Innistrad, Pillar of Flame, Conscripts, Olivia Valdarin, Blood Artist. We'll definitely see him bring in the Blood Artist. We'll definitely see him bring in the Olivia. Have to imagine the Pillar of Flame. Not sure about the Sorin, though. I'm almost surprised that card's not in his main deck.
Well, especially Sorin, even in the block format, didn't actually get that much play. The problem is that Howl Rider is just a better card. It's a better tokens-based card, actually, than Sorin is.
Right.
So, while he could side it in, that card to me seems to be too slow for the matchup, and I'd probably keep it in the sideboard deck. Olivia seems like a fair card to me.
Yeah, definitely seems very, very good in this matchup. Looking at Jansen's mana, it's really it's not very good. He's only playing 23 land, first of all, one of which is a colorless land, Vault of the Archangel. In terms of red sources, he's 13 for his 4 Hellrider, 2 Thundermaw Hellkite, Dreadbore, Bonfire, Pillar. That's
a lot of red cards.
That's a lot of red cards. Sources. Yeah, double reds all over the place. Let's see, in terms of black sources, he has 12.
So with the cards you listed, how many red sources would you say you would want in that deck?
Oh boy, 17, I'd say.
Okay,
probably
so nearly most every land.
I would like them to be, in an aggro deck that has to hit its drops. I mean,
right. It is more important in aggro to be hitting your drops early is more important in aggro.
Right. I mean, realistically, you could probably get by with 15, but 13 is definitely too low. Black sources, he's doing fine on. He has 12 black sources, not too many black cards.
Nothing that's double black, and nothing that really demands black on curve either.
Right, exactly. So I would have definitely liked to have seen maybe a few more mountains, maybe cut the vault for a mountain, something like that, but I like what he's trying to do here. I like that he's really trying to push the token theme to the absolute max. some of his card choices I might not agree with. Like the removal split is a little strange. He has 3 Pillar of Flame, he has 2 Dreadbore, and 4 Bonfire, which he has some versatility, but Bonfire of the Damned in his deck with only 23 lands, it's
Bonfire. I mean, Bonfire to me seems fine. It's good in an aggro mirror. It maybe is a little greedier than you'd want it to be. Like, this is the matchup you'd want in Bonfire, and he did get to Miracle one. He was a land short of having it be backbreaking, but you know, with that extra land, if the Bonfire comes down a turn later, it wins the game.
That's definitely true.
I think on the non-Miracle, Bonfire's not very good though.
No, he's going to struggle to ever cast it for anything relevant. 4X, you know, maybe like 3X Bonfire, something like that, maybe another Pillar. I don't know. Hard to really question it without knowing the metagame too.
Right.
So Jansen, on your right there, he will be on the play for the next game. And he'll definitely appreciate that. Hope to get an intangible virtue down for sure.
Anthems are pretty key in this sort of matchup.
Yeah.
Any anthem effect? Yeah. He just needs to make sure that really make sure that he stays alive. I know Shrout won the last game. I kind of like. I like Jansen's chances here actually quite a bit. That Spectral Flight really got him. The fact that it was on Spectral Flight on a pro-black guy.
Right. Kind of like a wombo combo there.
Well, right, and it has, yeah, that's true. I mean, Spectral Flight does the same thing with Geist of St. Trapped. I remember for Block Constructed season, there were a lot of decks that I remember tried in blue-white, where essentially what we learned from them was that Spectral Flight on Geist of St. Trapped was totally unbeatable, and that the deck surrounding them was kind of suspect.
Right. Pretty much any deck that you're going to play Spectral Flight on, you can probably say that about. Although, really, I like Andrew Shrout's deck. It's a really tight package here. He has a really nice curve. He has 8 1-drops. He has 11 2-drops. He has 7 3-drops and 4 4-drops.
Right.
Which is that's exactly what you want your aggro curve to look like in this kind of deck. His mana is good. He only has 2 lands that don't produce white mana. He has 10 blue sources for only a few blue cards. Really, just a way more consistent, more aggressive deck than Jansen's.
Absolutely. Players looking at their 7s. Looks like Jansen's is going to be a mulligan. Yep, Jansen's putting his back. And Shrout is keeping on 7.
You know, and I was actually watching Glenn Jones interview Andrew Shrout before this round about his deck, and the card that stuck out to me the most, well, the 2 cards that stuck out to me the most were his 6th edition Plains and 6th edition Island. He said he had to hunt down those. He said they were really hard to find, and that he wanted those exact fixtures.
Sure.
So.
With 6th edition, are those original ones or are they reprints?
Those are Mirage reprints.
Mirage reprints, okay. So they couldn't be Mirage ones, they had to be 6th ed?
He said he was very particular about his lands. He said they have to have the big mana symbol, they have to be white bordered, and they have to have Mirage art. So right. I think that
the Mirage ones would only have the small mana, and they would have the sentence. Alright, Plains into Doomed Traveler out of Jansen Eaton. Start out first with turn 1. Shroud also falls on Plains, has no follow-up to it. Jansen has a 2nd color available. You'll have all 3 colors available. Blood Crypt tapped, swing Doomed Traveler.
Very nice.
Good 6 for Jansen, I think, just off the fact that he has all his colors.
Exactly, and he has double red there. He has a Clifftop Retreat in his hand.
Thalia comes down.
That's actually really good against Jansen.
Yeah, it might get we might see it get Dreadboard here, and yeah, you.
Oh wow. So Jansen forgot about the extra 1 from Thalia.
Right. Does that now? I don't know whether he's required to cast it for 0 here or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It depends how he announced it. I think if he said Bonfire 4/1, then he. Well, it looks like he was forced to cast it.
It looks like the judge is holding him to making that play. That seems strange to me, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it really depends how he announced the spell. If he just says Bonfire, I think it resolves.
If he just says Bonfire, but if he says Bonfire for 1, then it doesn't.
Right.
So Doomed Traveler's gonna hit the bin, make a 1/1 Flying Spirit token.
So really unfortunate for Jansen.
Yeah, I mean this is that good. That's and Elite Inquisitor comes down for Andrew Shrout. And we have a pair of Dreadbores in Jansen's hand, and also a Hellrider.
Okay, so that's a start.
Yeah, sure. So he takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Dropping Shrout down to 13.
Yeah, and really Hellrider, it didn't get that much play when it was legal before, when all Scars block was legal, but now that the format's a little smaller, that card is really good.
Right. Shroud's gonna have a trump here in Riders of Gavoni, so it's set to Devil should be really strong.
Yeah.
And he can back it up with Feeling of Dread and Syncopate in his hand. I think Shroud's got a clear victory here.
Yeah, definitely. He seems like he has all the tools he needs. And it's interesting that he did bring in the Syncopate on the draw. I'm a little surprised, but he must have had enough cards that he didn't want in the matchup to bring him in.
Yeah. And he's gonna make a Johnny on 4 mana. Counter from a Johnny on Elite Inquisitor.
And that is very, very good.
And swing 5.
First strike Vigilance means that Jansen's going to need a way to kill it if he wants to keep swinging.
Which he does have, fortunately.
He does.
So that's another. Do we have another bonfire here?
Sure looks like it. No other miracle cards.
That will
in Jansen's
only
deck.
bonfire for 2, as we've learned. I do not like this bonfire at all, by the way.
Yeah.
2, and he redirects to. Unclear whether he redirects to Johnny. I would have preferred the Dreadbore here. You can't, because the problem is you can't swing the Hellrider.
Right. Exactly. That Dreadbore would still be live late game.
So 2 damage. I'm unclear how this is being divided.
Wow, I think he
Just
dealt
all
all
going
the
at the
damage
dome?
right to Andrew Shrout.
So Andrew Shrout would be at 9 then.
9 life. Yeah, I mean, he only could have gotten the Johnny to 1 this turn, which is why he did that. If he could have killed it, he probably would have. But
Well, he could have. If he doesn't Miracle the Bonfire and he
Right.
just Dreadbores the Lead Inquisitor, then he can kill a Johnny. And I
Right.
think the board looks really favorable for him. It does mean you have a Bonfire trapped in your hand, but you don't always have to Miracle your cards just because they say Miracle.
Right. We saw Jerry not Miracle a couple cards today. We saw Brad not Miracle a card.
Right. A Johnny is going to put another counter on a Lead Inquisitor now, and that'll swing for 4. The problem is that when Jansen tries to Dreadbore here, he's going to find that it's going to get syncopated.
He will be out of luck.
And there's another Thalia in Shroud's hand. And the first striking will continue.
Yep.
Well, he's going to do nothing.
Shrout just says go.
He's leaving up Syncopate.
I like that play a lot.
If Shrout draws a Black Source, he'll be able to kill. He's going to Dreadbore the Elite Inquisitor. That should immediately get syncopated.
Yeah, if he's not syncopating this, I'm not sure what he's waiting for.
Nope,
Here it is. Jansen Eaton can't be happy about that.
Yeah, exiled. All right.
Exiled. But he will be able to drop Andrew Shrout to 7.
Right, 2 damage. 2 damage from the Spirit token.
Right. Now, he will have to...
He actually just passes the turn. I'm not sure what the weight is for there. It's not. I mean, maybe he's playing the chump block Elite Inquisitor in case he's worried about a double striking 4/4.
Right. He is at 11, and you maybe
He would be dead to Spectral Flight if he made that play.
Okay. Maybe he's thinking about the Feeling of Dread from last game. Really wants to play defensively.
He's dead to the Feeling of Dread too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Dread this turn, attack for 4. Next turn he's dead to another Dread.
Yeah, and I think that's what was...
He's dead to the Johnny with more Feeling of Dread.
He's looking at the Riders here. Riders leave Feeling of Dread up. It will probably be his play. Set up a win in 2 turns.
Alright, Riders Cavoni down. Both players today in this match are 3-0. So there's a question about the records of the 2 playing.
Johnny does double strike, brings Jansen Eaton to 3.
Right, and then Andrew's got to be happy. He's got an end step. Riders naming Spirit, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, Jansen Eaton in a really, really tough spot here. He's going to need something pretty special to get him out of this.
I mean, you have to make... I don't know if there is a card. You'd have to make... Oh my. Actually, wait. Jansen's at 3, which does enable for a fateful hour here.
Oh boy. 5 1/1 tokens from the townsfolk.
And the 5 townsfolk have gathered.
He's still dead though, isn't he? Oh no, he's not dead.
No,
he needs
he's
a
not.
Spectral Flight. So the soldiers have assembled, threatening lethal next turn from that Hellrider. But what he doesn't know is that Andrew Shrout has that feeling of dread.
And he also has a Dreadbore, which I think is going to get played here. That a very fateful draw by Jansen Eaton.
Yeah, got him right back in this game.
He's going to destroy the Ajani, so there's no double strike in flying.
Yep, doesn't want that happening.
I assume he's targeting Ajani.
I think he has to. In response, feeling of dread, okay.
Oh no, and it was the Elite Inquisitor. That's going to win the game for Andrew.
Wow. And he says go. We'll see what Andrew does.
Andrew
Yep, here
double strike
he
flying
sees it.
kills him.
That's the game.
Except it doesn't tap to attack.
We'll let him know.
Andrew Shrout wins 2-0. Jansen Eaton almost gets back into that last game there.
Yeah,
with the
shaking
fateful
his
hour.
head. There were a few mistakes.
He's got to know it.
Kind of compounded upon each other there.
Well, if you swing with the flyer, it puts Andrew down to 7.
Yeah.
And then you have 7 guys attacking. That's a lethal swing.
Right. It's really, really unfortunate for him there. But you know what? I have to say, he has the best tie in the room so far. he wins that prize for today.
All right. So Andrew Shrout moves up to 4-0 with his Blue-White Humans deck.
Yeah. Pretty impressive. He's making a run at the top 8 here. I actually just got a message from Jarvis Yu on Facebook that said that in his mind, Andrew Shrout is very, very good, and he might win the tournament despite what deck he's playing.